Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a couple of days. I've been busy with work, but we're about to start our 2026 season. And actually, I had a couple of videos recorded for the off season. I put some music behind them and got copyrighted. So, we've already started the season, but I'm kind of backtracking. I'm going to show you guys what I did in the off season to help the Seattle Mariners get to the World Series this year. So, here's our roster. Same thing as always, right? Julio, Kirby, Gilbert, Castillo. We know that. Bang! Here it is. Josh Naylor. Here's his contract. Looks like 5 years, $16.8 million a year. There was a lot of bidders in this one, but we actually made a pretty good deal, I think. Big thing that helped me was that Vlad Guerrero Jr. was also out there on the free agent market. And so he kind of set the bar, and then Naylor obviously is a little tier below him. So we do. 5-year deal. He's going to play first base every year for us. We have no prospects at the first base position, so this to me is a great signing. Good place to spend money. And then you look at what he's done even in simulation. Last year he had a career high in homers, drove in 90, hit 302 with a 506 slug, gave himself an 869 OPS. This season you can see through 15 games, 3 homers, driven in 11, 327, 356, 600. So really good. Big thing about Naylor too, I'm hitting him in the 4-hole this season. Great situational hitter, right? So he's great at driving in runs, and that is just something we needed so much. So he's been hitting behind Julio. That's been great. Okay, another big one, Lane Thomas. We were able to get him to agree to a pretty cheap deal as well. 2 years, $6.5 million. This was a guy that I didn't really want to sign long term because he was 29, I think. He's 30 now, obviously. And then he doesn't hit righties as well. The big thing was he can hit lefties, and he's got a cannon of an arm and a little bit of speed. So we're adding a little bit of speed and defense into our lineup, really, with a guy with a little bit of pop, I guess, some pop. And then last year was just not a good year for him. 23 homers. He did hit 37 doubles, so I think that kind of is slept on. He did not have a lot of good offers in the offseason, so we were able to capitalize on that. So far this year, in the games I've played, he's been really bad for me, but I imagine he will heat up as we move forward. But to me, this is a big signing. Obviously, I would have loved to keep Taylor Trammell out and right and have Dom Canzone in left, but we needed another bat. We needed somebody who's going to bring a little bit more to the plate than those guys, and this ended up being a good piece. But it is a pretty temporary contract. We're going to get him, to his age 32 season, and then we'll reassess from there, I guess. Okay, so let's go into our starting rotation for the season. Kirby, Gilbert, Castillo. Whitlock will be a spot starter. He will start in the bullpen. Bryce Miller, and then another signing we made, a cheap one here. 1 year, $10 million deal. Kind of spent our last $10 million that we had for this season on Ranger Suarez. On this game, obviously, he's an 82. In real life, this season, he's been unbelievable. Probably close to like an 86, 87. But for right now, he's been great so far. 1-1. He's started 3 games for us. 2.65 ERA, 21 strikeouts in 17 innings. He's been nasty. So he'll kind of solidify this starting rotation. That gives us probably one of the best starting rotations in baseball. There you go. That's what we got for starting rotations. So absolutely insane. A lot of electric stuff coming out of these guys. And then you look at our bullpen. Whitlock, of course. Minter's back. Raisel Iglesias was a guy that we signed for this season. $6.6 million. He's been okay. Andrew Lara was a Rule 5 guy that we picked up. We kind of took a gamble on him. Hopefully he turns out good. We got Santos, Hoffman, Brash, and Munoz all back. So that's how the bullpen looks like. And then as far as our lineups, here's what we've been doing. J.P. Crawford in that leadoff spot, as always. Rojas in the 2-hole. Julio, of course, hitting 3. He's already got 5 bombs this year. That's been nice. Josh Naylor's been driving in runs. Cal Raleigh in the 5-hole. Got Lane Thomas hitting 6. Canzone hitting 7. He's had a great year so far with the power numbers. 5 homers. Just the batting average hasn't been there. But we're hoping that Canzone, his potential's a C. We're hoping he can get to the point where he's got some of that pop against righties. Maybe get around 70, 75 power. And I think he'll just be hitting nukes because the guy just swings it so well. And he's got a cannon of an arm. He's got good plate vision already. So I think in simulation and when I play with him, he's going to be producing pretty well. Luis Urias, of course, is back. I like what he does defensively, and then he hits left-handed pitching, which is good. And then, of course, the Rookie of the Year last year, Mr. Harry Ford. Hoping that he can repeat what he did last season with his Rookie of the Year campaign. I'm hoping to see him, continue to develop a little bit of pop and then continue to develop that defense. He's really solid defensively. I think he's going to be an elite defender moving forward, so that's good. And then, of course, on the bench, the usual guys, Bliss, Moore, Trammell, and Ty France. Taylor Trammell, he's developed so much with the bat the last couple years. It was hard for me to want to sit him this season, but he just did not produce for us last year. 140 games, 20 doubles, 20 homers, 206, 278, and 375 slug. It just doesn't make sense for us to keep him in the starting lineup every day. So he will be our fourth outfielder this year, though. He's still a guy that I really like. I think he will be back into a regular everyday role when Lane Thomas' contract is up or if there's an injury. But for now, that's kind of what we got for your Seattle Mariners this season. You can see through the first 2 weeks for 11-6. So that is the breakdown of the offseason. That is all the moves that were made. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. I will catch you guys on opening day. Y'all take care.